Listen to the drums. Let them beat within your heart. Can you feel them inside of you? Touching you. I'm touching you. That introduction was by Brandon Alsalvo El Beryewe. It's called Maloof Lento. Just for the cred, so that he can have his credit. So here we are together, you and I, once more, and we are in this magical point in time where we can experience the different things that life has given to us and will give to us. And I just want you to know that we're here together and nothing can come between us. Nothing. Not that bitch ex-girlfriend of yours, or the wonderful human beings that make up my life. I think that they're all very pleased that we have this sort of relationship between us. So I just want you to know that nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing can come between us. There's not a single thing, except if a meteor came and destroyed the Earth, which scientists have no way of knowing is going to come. Like, they can predict 90%. They know where 90% of the meteors are around us. But they have a major blind spot where they have absolutely no idea. And so if there was a rock, let's say, oh my god, I can't remember how big it is. But not that big. It's like a decently small rock. But it would be big enough to destroy, let's say the size of a school bus. There's like a school bus sized rock. But I'm saying like the school bus is like the circumference, not the circumference, sorry, the diameter. It's been a while since I've taken geometry. Let's say the school bus is the diameter of this rock, okay? And this rock would destroy New York City if it hit New York City. And scientists, they don't know where those are. So, but they know where most of the ones that would destroy the Earth are, and they say that we're good for at least 10 years. So, all that to say that you have no idea what's coming for you. You have absolutely no idea if you're going to die today, or tomorrow, or the next day. You could die right now. Don't hold your breath. I'm not. And so, I just want you to know that you gotta seize the day. You gotta take life, and you just gotta make it yours. You gotta grab it and make it your own, because, dude, that meteor's coming for you. It'll mess you up, man. That meteor's gonna mess you up, dude. Those are my ASMR noises. You like those? That's also the noise I make when I imitate women. I'll always be like, oh man, this girl at my class today, she was being so annoying that she just kept going. That's how I imitate their talking when they're like saying shit that's just so annoying, and they just won't shut up. It's like whenever they have something to complain about, it's like that noise. That's the sound of women talking. Not all women, because there are some women who I care deeply, deeply about. And I don't want them to feel like I don't care about what they have to say. It's the 99% of other women who I don't care about what they have to say. This is just going to stay between you and me, okay? It's just going to stay between you and me, because if that gets out there, dude, you and I are both screwed, because I'm not going down alone, okay? If I go down, you go down. That's what this means. That's friendship. That's friendship, dude. If I go down, I'm dragging you right down with me to the depths of hell. We're going to the pit of despair, and we're going to be there together. Friends forever, okay? Friends forever. We're a community. Communities, they stay together. All right? We learned about that in health class in high school, about community. We also learned about vaginal warts. We learned a lot about a lot of things in that class. A lot of strange things. There was a rumor floating around that the health teacher, I'm not going to say her name because I don't want to compromise her integrity if she's still teaching school. But the health teacher, She used to touch kids. By kids, I mean like full-grown students, but they are technically underaged. So there were rumors about her having explicit relationships with students. I never saw nothing, and I would never snitch on that wonderful woman because she was actually super cool, and we were really good friends. We were really tight. Not as tight as she was with some of the other students, but we were good friends. We went to Ludington once together, and we got ourselves a little cabin out there. It was with the whole cross-country team, so it's not like it was just me and her. I led you. I was catfishing in there a little bit with that story. I was just leading you on, just roping you in with that, because it sounds more interesting if I say it that way, where we went to get a cabin together in Ludington. You think, what the hell are you doing with this high school teacher? I wasn't that cool in high school. I was cool as shit in high school, but I didn't have that much game. I was very small. I was a very small fellow. But so I mean, look, we got along great. It just wasn't anything worth suing about. You know what I mean? No lawsuits here. No lawsuits here. Dude, but I tell you, the hot summer sun, we used to run 2 miles across sand dunes back in those days. Used to run 2 miles. We get out there, man. You ever seen Clash of the Titans? You ever seen that movie? There's a scene in that movie where Perseus, he's just like on this dune, just walking. I felt like him when I was walking on that dune, 2 miles to the lighthouse. She pointed off to the distance. It was our first day of cross country camp. Let me just remark real quick how awesome it is that we went to cross country camp. I think that in itself is so cool. We had t-shirts that said cross country camp, we run for fun. Dude, whenever somebody saw that shirt, they'd say, dude, I don't know who I am or what is this whole life is about. But that motherfucker wearing that shirt right there that says I run for fun, he's the coolest kid I've ever seen. They would say that to all of us, even the skinny kids who were actually good at running. They would say, I just did it because I was a wrestler. I was just trying to get in shape. Just needed a good excuse to do cardio. That was pretty much all I was doing it for. And there were a few ladies, I'm not gonna lie to you, on the team who I was kind of eyeballing. I was kind of eyeballing them out there. They were pretty attractive. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you and say I wasn't eyeballing a couple of them, because I definitely was. Me and the boys. I said, dude, me and the boys. Back in the old cross-country days. We used to eyeball, I tell you what. One race, my buddy, we decided to go to a friend's house. And we were at our friend's house the day before our cross-country meet. It was like one of the last ones of the season, too. It was like one of the big ones. And we just started smashing beers. We're like, dude, we do not care how well we perform tomorrow. So we just started smashing beers at a buddy's house. We weren't even at our house. We were all together at some other guy's house. And then we woke up early, rolled out of bed, got in our car, drove with like 10 minutes left to the bus where we were about to be taken to our event. It was an early morning, like Saturday event. And we get there, and my buddies are like, dude, I left my uniform at that guy's house. And so our coach, he looks at us and he's like, dude, you got to go get that uniform. Sorry, I spoke so terribly there. And I looked at him, and he saw this gleam in my eyes, because I was the driver of our crew. I was always the guy who was driving, because I freaking love driving. But we were going to be late, and he looks at me and he says, drive safely. You know what I didn't do? I did not go the speed limit when I drove back. I made sure that I could tell how far in his line of sight I was before I just vanished into the road. I was going solid 20 miles per hour when I was in the parking lot, and as soon as I was out of view, I told my buddy, I said, hey, I want you to go to look up on my phone. I got this song, Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue. You put that on, and we might die today. Today is the day that we die, okay? This is the meteor day. This is it. Except it's not a meteor. It's my fucking car crashing into a tree. But we did it, dude. He turned that on, and I swear we were there and back in 5 minutes. It was amazing. We were cruising. My old Oh, what kind of car was that? It was like a Buick Park Avenue, a 2002 Buick Park Avenue. Old grandma car. Real ghetto, too. I'd never seen a dirt road till I started taking it. I used to drift that guy on dirt roads. Man, I kind of miss those days. Those days of drifting. I just got back into it. I'll start fishtailing on the dirt roads out here. It's a lot of fun. But you got to be careful, though, because there's kids in strollers and shit. People are, because of the whole COVID thing, they want to get out of their house and walk as they start taking their kids for a walk. And you got to be careful, man, because I'm trying to fishtail out here. I'm trying to fishtail on the road. I don't have a lot of control when I'm fishtailing, so I don't want to hit any poor women and children, you know. But you got to do what you got to do. I mean, like, you're in the freaking, this is a road for automobiles, not for people, not for human beings. So that's my opinion on that. Where's I going with that? Oh yeah, cross country, the cross country story. So, we went to Ludington. Yeah. We rolled up to Ludington, and the first thing we did, we got off the bus. We're looking at the beach. You should go to the beach at the state park, and way off in the distance, there's this lighthouse, 2 miles away. She looks at us. She says, "Go run to that lighthouse." So we're like, okay. Dude, if you've ever tried to run up a sand dune, let me tell you, it's pretty difficult, okay? You're gassed after a pretty short time, a short amount of time, a short duration, okay? Like, even if you have endurance, this is a real test of that endurance. Because you get going, man. My God, you can't keep going. You stop, and I was crawling. Like, after the first couple dunes, I had to, like, on hands and knees. Like, there's no running. We're not running 2 miles. We are crawling, literally crawling in the sand to get to this lighthouse. But my God, it was beautiful. I felt like a Spartan. I felt like an ancient Greek warrior. You know, because we had no shoes on. It was just our hand. We all took our shirts off. All of us guys, of course. The ladies, they were modest, as they should have been. We don't want any immodesty, not on this show. And so I just kept going, man. And the sun was setting. It was amazing. Seriously, it was one of the most fulfilling exercises I've ever done. If you ever have the opportunity to go run some dunes, I'm telling you, do it, because you're not going to regret it. It's so amazing. But you're sore as shit for the rest of the week, man. It's definitely a dirty business out there in the sand. We played a lot of odds. That was when odds was a big thing. Remember playing that game? What are the odds? Everything with the odds games always has to do with licking stuff. It's always like, what are the odds you lick my mouth? Or like, what are the odds you lick my butthole? It's always licking stuff. I licked a lot of disgusting things. I'll say that. I will say that. And I had a really uncomfortable conversation with one of the dads who was there. He was a lawyer. Big-time lawyer in our little small town. He went to the University of Michigan. That's where I ended up going. This girl, she looks at me, what are the odds you put your arm around that lawyer man and talk to him for the entire rest of our little walk? So we were, like, walking probably a mile on this trail. I'm like, I don't know this guy, but let's freaking do it. I did it, and I lost the odds game, so I had to do it. So I put my arm right around this fellow, and I started talking to him, and it went really well. It's like a good, I like that game. It's a good charismatic exercise because you get yourself in some real dilemmas sometimes, It did get me wondering about one of my buddies though, because he would always, the only thing he could ever think of when we were playing odds was gay stuff. It got me really wondering, like, why is that the only thing you can think of? It's always like, I'm going to put this fruit snack over my underwear on my butt. Eat it. Like, what are the odds you eat it? You eat it when you do that. I was like, okay. Like, I did it, but it was because it was, like, the odds game. You can't. All the boys are watching me, We got these two. I remember it was me and my buddy, and we were almost seniors. Yeah, we were going into our senior year. We had two little freshmen with us. These two skinny freshmen. They were little guys. They were probably 100 pounds. And probably combined 100 pounds. They were very, very small. And I was a small guy, too. I mentioned that earlier with the health teacher story, but I was a small guy. But these guys were really small, like noodles. We used to call one of them, his name was Eamon. We called him Raymond, like Raymond Noodle. Raymond Eamon. He's a good guy, though. He played guitar really well. His dad was the lawyer. That's who the lawyer was. It was his dad. So we had a great relationship. I think he's doing real good things now. I think he's off at the university now, the University of Michigan. I think he's probably going to be a lawyer, too, one day. Can only hope, I guess. Yeah, he actually got really good at cross country. That was my speaker shutting off. Sorry about that. I should have done that earlier. We had a good relationship because we always try to get these kids to break the rules. Not at first, because I used to always follow the rules. We had this, me and my buddies, we all decided to join the cross country team together because we were a community, the four of us, and none of us were the cross country type. You know how there's cliques at school? There's like certain groups of people. You know, you got the band kids who everyone hates. There's the theater kids who intersect with the band kids. There's the sports guys, and there's the stoners, and there's I don't know the girl groups, but there's girl groups too. Our group was the intersect. If you can picture in your mind a Venn diagram, our group was the intersect of the stoners and the jocks. So we would play sports. We'd also do drugs and alcohol and throw parties. And so we were cool as shit. I'm not going to lie to you. This was, I think, in my opinion, I think it's the best group in the whole school because we're very versatile, okay? Like, we can hang out with the popular, like, jockey kids, but we can hang out with anyone else, too. Like, we're not bound by our status, which is a fun thing. We can, like, I remember, like, inviting nerds to parties just because I thought, like, they were cool. I can chill with these guys. They're awesome. I just want to know people, man. We're real big people, you know what I mean? Like, if you wanted to come to our table and sit with us, you could. We're just joking around the whole time. That's it, man. I love just joking around with the boys at the lunch table. That was so cool. We had a little corner seat. There were two TVs in the cafeteria in each corner, and we'd sit by one of the TVs and we'd have The Price is Right is on every day at lunch. So we'd all be sitting around there with our chocolate milks, just watching The Price is Right. A couple of, that's just the guys, man, just watching The Price is Right all lunch period. Ah, that was nice. We'd be shouting too. It was like a sporting event where we'd just be going at it like, pick number 3, it's number 3, pick number 3, Dad. Yeah, she got number 3. That was us at the lunch table, shouting at the TV. We were cool. All the girls wanted to hang out with us because we were so cool. But how does this relate to Raymond Eamon? I forgot where I was going with that. Well, we tried to be nice to Raymond Eamon. Oh, I remember, because I was saying about how we were on the cross-country team, my boys. None of us started out running cross-country. One of my guys, he was really good at football. This was a guy who I was wondering if he was gay earlier. The guy who made me eat stuff off his butthole. I'm going to edit that out later. But he was really good at football and basketball. Like, he was a killer athlete. But he was always a very introverted guy, and so he would never stick out to the coaches. And it was really dumb that was the case, because he was much better than everybody. Like, he was an insanely good wide receiver, and in basketball, he could make threes more than anyone else. He was so unbelievably good at sports. But he got burned by all the football coaches because they all picked favorites. There's a lot of politicking going on. The coach's son always had to get priority over everybody else. And so he got real pissed about that, and he just gave up. He's like, I'm not playing football anymore. I'm not playing football. And I think he stopped playing basketball, too. I can't remember if he did or not. I think he did. It's like, screw you guys. I'm not going to be a part of this game. Coach, like, once the varsity coach was actually really beat up about it because he knew how good Nate was. And yeah. Yep. Yeah, so Nate quit and he joined the old cross country team, and I sucked at football. I was absolute garbage because I was so small. I was such a small guy. I'm pretty good at like juke stepping, and I'm a pretty agile fellow. I think right now I could crush it. I mean, if I played football right now, I'd absolutely demolish. But I weigh probably 70 more pounds than I did back then. Like, unironically, 70 more pounds I've put on since then. So back then, it wasn't my day. That was not my day. Today is my day. Every day is our day. We just got to put our minds to it and seize it, We got to seize that day before the meteor seizes us. Do you understand me? Okay. And so he joined the cross team, and then my friend Aaron and Sean, my friends Aaron and Sean, they're twin brothers, twin Mexicans, and I love them deeply. I can't remember why they joined the team. I think they never really cared for football. Maybe they were just looking for something to do, so they joined. And I was like, screw it. Hey, all the boys are joining. I'm no good at football. Why don't I just join this sport? It'll keep me in shape for wrestling, keep me nice and slender, so that I can get a real low weight class and just tear it up. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. But we kept our very idiosyncratic personalities, We had a lot of personality on this team, a lot of spunk. We were a very, very spunky team, Very spunky group of fellows. And so we would just, we would go to these cross-country meets, and we would just mess around. We'd mess around at practice. We just did not take this sport seriously at all. We had absolutely no reason to. I mean, it's just cross-country. Who the hell cares? Like, not even our own coaches really cared. I mean, he cared a little. He's a good man. He's a good man, our coach, but he knew. He knew that nobody cared about this sport, and that we were all just doing it for other sports. Even he wasn't even primarily a cross-country coach. Like, he was mostly a baseball coach and a hockey coach. Like, cross-country was third for him, too, so, oh well. Good man, though. Very good man. Hope he's doing well. I need to reach out to him. Don't let me forget that. Don't let me forget to reach out to him. Can you guys write that in the comments that I need to reach out to my my cross-country coach? He's a good man. I just reached out to my English teacher lately because she's played such an important role in my life. Hate to get all sappy. That's not what this is supposed to be about, but I just need you to know that there's so many people in my life who have been so beneficial to me that I just, oh my God, I just can't go on without thanking them, without saying a good old thank you. So that's it, dude. So we went, so we'd mess around at practice. We'd have these, we'd call them fun run days, where a coach would be like, okay, guys, I need you to run 13 miles from here to here. Like, here's point A, here's point B, all these old country roads and stuff. And we'd be like, fun run today? We'd be like, yeah, boys, fun run. So we'd just not run. We'd find a way to cheat it, and it would be like, okay, so we're just going to hang out here at this bridge for like a half an hour, and then we'll just meander over to the finish line, because usually the finish line is like back at the school, so it's like we'll just make it look like we did the run. Sometimes we cut through cornfields and stuff, but we had a good time, and we just hang out there. But some of these kids, man, some of these real I was against it at first, because I was like, really, integrity was a big deal to me. Still is, but in a different way. I mean, you don't have to take cross-country seriously. Make the big things the big things. Have integrity for the things that matter, but the things that don't matter. I mean, I'm not saying don't have integrity. I'm just saying you can be honestly apathetic to the things that don't matter. And I think that's the best place to be. Integrity, at the end of the day, I think comes down to honesty. Integrity, you're like integrity in this situation would be like, Coach, I do not care about this sport, and so I'm going on a fun run today. And like, if you get caught, or maybe you don't say that, maybe you just go out and do it, and you get caught, you say, Coach, I do not care about this sport, and so I do not see it as a lapse of integrity for me to not take it seriously, because I do not take it seriously. I feel like that's just being authentic. So we'd mess around, okay? We'd mess around. I was a little against it at first, but I gave in eventually, because fun runs were fun, man. We just hang out at the bridge. This old railroad bridge in the middle of the woods. It was this masterpiece, this beautiful piece of architecture. It felt like Roman ruins. It really did. I mean, it was old, and it was there was water, and oh my God, it was so cool. We'd run up the hill really fast and run down the hill really fast to get to the top and to the bottom. It was magical. It was a magical day. We had lots of days like that. But these guys, these loser skinny boys, they would just keep running. They would like, we gotta do the route. We gotta keep running the route, guys, because that's what Coach told us to do. Dude, you just relax, man. Just relax and run it. Don't run it, I mean. Just hang out with us. Hang out with the boys. One time, me and my friend Nate, we just kind of ran off. We found, like, we ran onto this guy's property, and it was really pretty. We're just, like, exploring it. And everyone's shouting at us, like, you guys need to come back. We got to go back to the school. And we're all just like, yeah, we'll come on our own time. We'll come when we're good and ready to come over. Because we do it sometimes with the girls, too. Occasionally we do it with the girls. The girls took it a bit more seriously than we did, so we didn't have as many fun runs with them. But on the days that we would, we'd always have to plan it, because you know how girls are usually a little slower than the boys, so we'd have to like stagger ourselves, like, okay, the boys will come in around this time, and then girls will come in about 10 minutes later. We were master planners back then. Still are, I guess. But so that was that. And so these skinny kids, you know, when we were at that cross country camp back in Ludington, we would try to get these kids exposed. To, like, we took them under our wing. We were playing these different games with them and stuff, and trying to like teach them how to be men. I saw them as like little versions of us, except much, much worse and less attractive. But they were good kids, and I think they're doing well now. And I think there were days where I would pick them up and like take them to practice and stuff, because, you know, I cared. I did have a big heart for these kids. Yeah, dude, I loved those kids. I love my wrestling boys too. I loved all the boys, man. Don't take that the wrong way. I also really did love the girls too, because they were very nice to me. They were always very, very kind to me. I have a lot of stories about that, but that's going to take way too long to tell all of those. So that'll have to wait for another time. But it was a good experience out in Ludington. You know, my man Nate, I've been talking a lot about Nate today. Well, he's an important figure in my life, man. He still is. I love him to death. He's doing things now. His grandparents lived out there in Ludington, and so he'd hang out there all the time. He'd go every summer. He'd hang out in Ludington, and he met these girls out there in Ludington. Oh my God, they were so cool. And I don't mean this in any way to be offensive at all. I'm just trying to state it as a matter of fact, okay? I'm not trying to be ableist or anything remotely offensive. I'm just trying to tell the truth, okay? One of the girls did not have hands. She had nubs, and I really liked this girl too. She's a good friend of mine. I still have her on Snapchat. I haven't Snapchatted her. And you know the weirdest thing? This was back when Snapchat, you can only type in the one bar, and if you fill up the one bar, you're all out of space, you know? It was way back, ancient Snapchat days, where for some reason they only wanted you to type in one bar. Like, if you type anything more than one bar, man, you ain't gonna send that Snapchat. Those were weird days back then, that must have been 2014. Even before then, that was probably 2013. No, couldn't have been. No, it was definitely 2013. Anyway, she would Snapchat me, and so you'd always like write the text underneath. So you'd run out of room in the top bar, and then you'd write it out. You'd write out whatever you had to say. And she would do it in perfect handwriting. She had like this perfect cursive. And not perfect where it's like a machine, you know, but it's like perfect as in, like, this is very well written. She has amazing penmanship. But she has no hands. She has no fingers. I don't know how this girl would do it. And it's not like, is there like an attachment that you can put on where it's like a stylus that you can write in Snapchat? It didn't make any sense to me. It was very, very hard for me to wrap my head around how this girl could write me such beautiful text, such calligraphy, with just a couple of nubs. I think that's something that we all need to appreciate, that it doesn't matter what's holding you back, dude. If you're tenacious enough, I'm telling you, you can do anything. Literally anything you can do. If you just put your mind to it. You say, no, that's impossible, Paul. I cannot possibly do this. It's impossible. I say to you, this girl can write me perfect calligraphy with nubs. You can do it. You can do anything. Anything. You just got to seize the day, man. You just got to seize the day. Seize it before the meteor does. That's what I'm saying to you right now. Take these words, man. Take them to the bank. Cash them in. Get yourself a check or a Lamborghini. Because these words, they're golden, baby. Golden. So, I tell this story. She's actually not the person I'm trying to talk about right now. But she and her friend, she had this other friend. And this was Nate's friend. So I met her through Nate's friend, who was this girl that he was talking to for a while. They had a little summer romance. Oh, it was a beautiful summer romance. I'm a romantic, deep down. I absolutely love romancing. Oh, it's so nice and good, and it's spicy. It makes life tasty. It makes life worth tasting. And he would, what would he do? Oh, yeah, they had this little summer romance, and these girls, they would show us all of these amazing spots in Ludington. Seriously, one of the most beautiful places I have ever seen. Just the intersect of these two roads. You would have never known it was there. And you just go down this little trail. So it's I'm going to tell it to you so you know, okay? Bradshaw Road and Lakeshore Drive in Ludington. Dude, the connection of those two roads. There's a little place, a little place you can park right at the intersection, okay? You park there, get out of your car, walk down the little trail. You'll see it. You'll see the little trail. It's worn down because people go out there. You go down that little trail. It might be private property, dude. We might get arrested. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen to us, dude. There's a little fire pit, and there's beer cans because people definitely go out there and they turn up, dude. They have parties out there, and they've got to be awesome. They've got to be the greatest parties I've ever seen. I've never seen one, but they've got to be amazing. You go out there. And, dude, it just opens up. It's just bluffs, like just lake. Just massive sand dunes, and it's just straight down. You're like hundreds of feet above the water. You're just looking out over the lake. And, oh, my God, in the summertime, the sun is just coming down, beaming upon it, and it's reflecting. And it's incredible. It's one of the most beautiful places. If it's not still available, if they've, like, chained it up and you're not allowed to go in there, I might kill myself, because I don't know if I can continue living knowing that that's not available for me anymore, because that is my one spot. That's like the one place that now I know where I can say, I know the state of Michigan because I know that place. If I don't have that place, I've got nothing. I've got a couple dive bars, and that's it. You can't do that. You can't go on living knowing that the only places you know of are a couple of dive bars. Like, those are your only locations. Like, who am I? That's a full-on identity crisis, because I see myself as someone who knows the state of Michigan, who knows this place, who can say, look, I got a spot, man. I got a spot. And if you take that spot from me, I got nothing. I got nothing but the Eagle Inn. It's a shitty dive bar, but you can still go and you can still drink, but it's not the same. It's not like the Bluffs, not like the Ludington Bluffs, man. If I don't have that, I've got nothing. What they take us there, they took us there, and it was really cool. And then we took all the boys there, and it was like magical. We got religious that day. We did. I mean, my friends, they were not religious, but they did. That day, swear to you, we all saw God. We saw God in a very unique way. It was beautiful. It was magical. Oh my God. It was like just childlike joy exuding from their faces. And it didn't really fit, because you look at my man Sean back then, he looked hard. He looked hard, dude. He had these tattoos all over him, and he had this, like, he was wearing, like, I remember the tank top he was wearing. It was like this sort of, the style of bandana that people in gangs wear. It was like that sort of pattern of tank top. So he looked like he was straight out of the ghetto, but he rolls up there and he's just like playing in the sand like a child. It is amazing. I have pictures. I'll have to show you sometime, because they're so unbelievably sweet. He is a sweetheart. I love him very much. He got his first tattoo, I think, when he was 14. Yeah, he got a few tattoos, I think, when he was 14. Maybe he was 15 when he got the other ones. But he got these 2 stars on his triceps. These 2 stars. Like, just stars. Like, there's nothing more to it. Just a couple of stars on his triceps. And they got the word family. And it was the funniest thing because he kept saying, like, yeah, it's actually a quote I'm going to get. I just haven't got it finished yet. It has been, how old is he now? He's 24. So it's been, quick maths, it's been 10 years. And he has not finished that quote. It just says family. It just says family, which is fine. Family's a good thing. You know, I love family. What's that? Moana means family. No, not Moana. That's a different movie. Doesn't matter. Aloha. Aloha means family. Aloha. Lilo and Stitch. You seen that movie? It's a good movie. So, they took us to that spot in Ludington, and I gotta say, it was amazing. It was such a beautiful, magical place, and that's the place. That's what I've got. So a bunch of people just showed up at my house, and they're about to ruin this whole party, so I'm going to have to sign off. It's been a great day hanging out with you. I hope that we can do this again sometime. This is for you. Because I love you. I care about you. Nothing's going to separate us. We're together, you and I, through this whole thing, okay? Nothing's going to stop us. Except for that big-ass meteor.